Good afternoon, everybody. Breanne from Pigment here, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial rather, of how to color armor. I chose this piece here. It's from the new book called Fantastical Warriors. You can find it in our library. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started by doing my background. I'm going to do, I think, a night sky in the background with some light reflections kind of happening on the water. So we're just going to get started there. I'm in this palette here, but I think I'm going to use my cool lighting palette just because I'm trying to do a night sky and there's some nice variations of blues. I'm just going to use the regular fill, which I'm on. I'm going to pick out the dark blue to begin. And I'm just going to start filling. I better move down a bit there. Okay. I'm wondering maybe this should be white. We'll leave it white for now. And then I'm going to go to a little bit of a lighter blue. I'm going to flip it over to Airbrush, which I'm on already, and Freehand, which I'm on already. Perfect. And I'm just going to kind of get this night sky going, but I want there to be lighter shades of blue, and possibly I might even do a little bit of a northern light thing. Maybe. Just lightening it up a little bit with the airbrush tool. And I'm going to try that northern light. I'm going to use this green. Just gently kind of brushing it across the sky. I'm not worried about if I get the helm because I'm gonna color over that anyways, so I'm not too worried. And I also kind of want pink. And I'm just pressing lightly and a little bit harder in some spots just to get like a more greeny tone going. And then I'm mixing in this pink with it as well. A little bit of yellow, and then I am going to go to my blur tool, and I'm just going to run it I think it's a little too high of opacity. I just want it to blur a bit. There we go, that's more the look I'm going for. And then after, I'm also going to go to blend and down the blend amount. And I'm just kind of pushing, almost trying to create light streaks in the sky. So we're kind of getting like that northern light effect. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen the northern lights in person, but I have, and they're absolutely stunning. I'm just going to go back to my blur. And then I'm going to go to my plasma tool. I'm going to pick up that green again. And I'm just kind of putting wisps of green in the sky. And then I'm just going to grab a white and the laser tool. And add some stars to the sky. Okay, so that's our sky. Now I'm going to fill in on the mountains since I have this brown out, and then I'm just going to use, I'm actually going to use pillow fill, I think, for this one, just because it'll help get my shading in place. Wherever you touch pillow, it'll be darkest at the opposite end. So if you do it in the middle, it goes darkest at both ends. If you do it at this point, it'll be towards the bottom. Which is nice to know because it can really help shave time off shading. You can still add two areas after, but it almost gets one layer of the shading done for you very effortlessly. Getting me tongue-tied there. Okay, so those are some filled in brown mountains. But I still got work to do on these guys, so I'm going to deepen that up a little bit. I'm still freehand, which is good. The airbrush tool, I like the airbrush tool for a lot of things. Especially just kind of being able to drag your pen or finger and easily get color application. It has a very wide spread and it has a very low spread if you want it that way too. It's very versatile tool. And again, I'm not worried about getting any anywhere else. It's fine if I do. When I say anywhere else, I mean like I'm getting it on picture, which is fine because I'm going over it. I just don't want to get it in my sky too much there. So I want them to be fairly dark because it is a night sky. I want them to have a little bit of light reflection, which I'm going to do. I'm going to use the green as that's the color from the sky. And I'm going to try the paintbrush tool. This time I'm going to want it to be on automatic. I'm using the paintbrush just because there's more than one tool that you can use to do very many things. And I like the texture that paintbrush adds, so it kind of shows that the mountains do have texture. They're not just flat in color. I just want to kind of get that little bit of a really bright green at the tops. Show the light's really reflecting there. And then I'm going to go back to airbrush. And freehand mode. I'm just highlighting areas that I think the light from the sky might hit. And then if you think that you have a little bit too much, you can just always kind of brush the brown and the black kind of back over very lightly to kind of still keep some of the highlights, but kind of cover it up a little bit too. So I'll leave that for now. I was actually kind of thinking of doing something just to almost make like the mountains are glowing a bit in the background. Trying to get some more light reflections in there. Now I'm going to do the water, and I'm just going to deepen up this blue. And I'm going to, I think I'll leave it on pillow for now. And I'm going to bring the water I think all the way through. To here. And then maybe I'll just use this brown there to kind of show that it's part of the island. You can kind of do what you want here because it's not really super defined. So if you want to kind of extend the island to over here, you can, or if you want to make it all water, you can also do that. Now I'm going to use this lighter blue. And just kind of put some a little bit of blue, like light blue light blue shading, sorry, excuse me, in the water. Getting tongue-tied today. Not too much though, because it is night water. You want to leave the night look to it. And you can also use some of this green to show that it's reflecting from the sky into the water. Let's open up the laser. A little bit of it kind of sparkling on the water. So there you got the northern lights sparkling on the water a little bit here. I'm not 100% sure what this is, but I'm just going to go ahead and fill it, I think. And just leave it as part of the island. I'm not sure. Like I said, very eclectic, cool drawings, but some parts of it are kind of wondering what it's a part of. So you can definitely have some fun with being creative on how you want the layout to be as well. Okay, so now I'm going to color these roses. And since these roses, that we're doing a night scene, and they're blooming at night, I'm going to try something here. I believe I'm still in color, okay. No, I don't think blue, because it blends too much in with the water in behind. I do want them to pop. I'm getting closer, you really notice you're missing a little piece of anything you notice. Okay. And for the stems, I'm going to use a darkish green anyway. Maybe I'll use it like that, so maybe that's what it was the leaves from the rose. Okay, so I think purple is actually a nice color for our night roses here. I'm going to go back to airbrush. I'm actually going to make sure I'm on automatic right now. Yeah, you can still fill when you're on freehand mode, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about it like filling the whole page. I don't know if anyone has tried or knows that, but you can definitely still fill in freehand mode within the lines. And I really actually like that feature because I switch back and forth from freehand to automatic mode a lot, and that saves me from switching if I don't need to, of course. I'm just shading towards the base of the rose there. I'm going to grab this brighter green. I'm actually going to go get my paintbrush tool. I like how it gives it texture instead of just being a little bit flat with the airbrush. You won't see it too much, but it does add a little bit of a visual interest, giving some texture. Okay, now I'm going to go to a little bit kind of like a lavender color. I'm just going to brush it across these lighter petals. I want to bring my opacity up a little bit here. I'm just kind of brushing it across the tops of the petals where I think there would be some light. And then I am going to go to blur. And just blur the texture a little bit. So you're still getting some texture, but it's kind of blending it for you. Then I'm going to go a little bit lighter and I'm going to go to airbrush. I'm going to zoom in for this. And I'm just going to get the tips of some of these roses here with a little bit of white highlighting. Okay, so we got a little bit of texture going on with our roses there, which is good. Now we're going to move over to the point of this tutorial, and we're going to color in the armor and the area over here. It's going to be fun and challenging at the same time because it's very kind of elaborate over here, isn't it? Like this is, I think this is like a hidden flower in here, and there's a flower there. This is the hair, the pompadour from the helm. So it is going to be an adventure coloring this. So I'm going to start off by just filling in the skin there. Making sure I'm moving that out. I'm going to actually use the technical pen. Trim that line. I'm gonna have to use my airbrush though. Color match. Just to blend it out so you don't get the rough line. This just kind of makes like a light effect that it's a bit lighter coming off of the helm, like underneath there's the shadow, and then it shows that the light's kind of hitting the skin right there. Trying to get this opacity and brush size right here. just trying to get some somewhat realistic light effects on the face here. I use this candy store orange. I don't know, I always go back to it once in a while to kind of add a little bit of color to an otherwise dull skin tone. I'm just doing a little bit of blending here. I just want this little bit of a light effect. You know, I'm kind of getting precise into the skin. I just want to try something different. And I'm just going to go to my blur and try this. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I'm not going to waste any more time on the skin. I was just kind of playing around, trying some different effects. Just trying to get the shading in there differently. I think that's more than sufficient for the skin though, so I'm not gonna keep on poking at it, except for I'm just going to, I just want to go around this part a little bit darker. There we go. Now I'm good with it. So now I'm going to fill the armor. And I think I've already decided that I'm going to do it this kind of color, gray, almost like a pewter type blue. I'm going to use the metallic fill, and I'm going to tap it at the top and get the darkest going towards the bottom of the helm. These little parts are going to kind of do their own thing with the little circles and such. It kind of feels like pillow, but leave like little lines across. Metallic effect. I'm not sure if that's like a pompadour. I'm going to fill in the pieces that I think are going to be the armor. That's a rose, I know that. And that's a rose. I actually like the shading of the skin. I could have probably did it a little bit quicker, but I was just trying. You never know if you don't try things, and that's how I've discovered a lot of really cool techniques. So I just wanted to see what I could swing. And I think it turned out pretty good. Even though I said, like I said, probably could have did it quicker if I just would have did it the way I normally would do it, but trying new things, trying new things. And this is part of the rose. I'm guessing it's like hair. And this. I'll do that the same color as the armor to the circle that goes around. Why not? And I actually think this is hair of some sort, so I'll probably have to switch that to a different color as well. So I'm going to go to this darker blue color. And I'm going to do the same for the hair, if that's what this is. Pretty sure it's hair. It's kind of cool having pieces like this where you get to kind of figure out how you want to execute it, you know? Because it's very elaborate. I like that. It allows you to be super creative and to make your own mark. And there isn't anything wrong with that in my books. So there, I want it to be dark, so that's why I'm kind of doing it the way that I'm doing it. I don't want it to be light armor at all. I want it to be dark armor at night. And then I'm just going to kick it over to freehand mode. I'm just going to add a little bit of added shading where I want it to be a little bit dark. I just brought down that pewter purpley gray color I used on the armor. I just brought the color down to deepen it in spots. I'm going to do the same with the blue that I use, excuse me. Edges over here. So this is going to be dark armor, but I want to have some light effects with it. Now I'm using black to really get some darkness to the armor. I just noticed something here. Excuse me for getting off track. Okay. So now I'm going to add a little bit of highlighting, but it's not going to be too crazy because I'm really liking the dark armor. I just want it to be kind of subtle. So I'm going to move it on airbrush mode. I'm going to kind of pick my spots. I have my opacity all the way up and my brush size around 7. And I'm just going to lightly pick spots where I'm going to want to add a layered highlight. I'm just picking some areas. Again, I don't want it to be too much highlighting, but it definitely needs to be in there because that's how we're coloring this armor. Armor, it has sheen, and sometimes it's also very worn and old looking too, right? Like if you look at movies, if any armor has been in battle, it's going to have gashes in it, and it's going to be a little bit dark and rusty. This isn't going to be dark and rusty armor, it's going to be new armor, but it's still going to have dark detailing, as you can see. And I'm just kind of trying to get a little bit of highlights in without making it look too gaudy. I want it to be like a mysterious armor set of the night type deal. This mysterious warrior. Looks like they're making a battle cry, ready to go or something. I'll highlight the circle a bit here. Oops, I'll take my brush size down on this. moving my hand about. And you can go over some of the areas with an even lighter color to add the highlight. And by layering highlights, I've talked about this on a few videos, it helps create this depth of sheen, just like when you layer your shadows. But you have to be able to see the outer layers, so you can't go over them and make them disappear. You just add. That's why I usually pick out where I want to do my highlights with my first highlighting layer, and I decide if I like it, and then I go back with a lighter highlight. And you can even do one other cool thing with this piece, which I might do, I haven't decided yet. Just thinking about possibly using the green from the Northern Lights as a highlight, just towards where the Northern Lights actually are. But we'll wait and see how this progresses here. I'm liking how it's looking so far, so I just want to keep that up. So it's getting that nice sheen to it. And now I'm going to try this lighter blue. But if I don't like it, I can change it. I'm actually going to use the pencil tool. I'm going to bring the opacity down a bit and the brush size up a bit. I don't want dark. The pencil and the paintbrush, they do apply very well, and I don't want a really flamboyant look. I just want a very undertoned look, and I like the texture in the paintbrush for adding texture. I don't really think that this is hair as much as it's decoration for the armor piece. That's kind of what I'm getting from coloring this right now, is that I'm going to put it back on automatic mode here. So I don't want it going to my waterwork that I did. But I'm kind of, yeah, like from what I'm seeing here, it seems like this is more decoration than anything. It almost feels like this part here should be purple. Just right up to there. And the rest can be the hair mane or whatever. I'm kind of picking it out as I go, to be honest. What is what? Okay. Okay. Now if you want to add a little bit more dramatic highlight, you can go to your regular tools and you can use your laser. Now you're going to have to play with your opacity and your brush size a little bit because you don't want it to be too stark. You want it to be very natural. What it does is it adds a really nice light effect. And you can almost make the helmet look like it's almost glowing. I think that's a little bit too much though. I liked it kind of just up here. You can also make it look like a shine's going across. You have to be on freehand mode for that. And you can make it look like it's cutting across the helm, like there's a part that's glimmering a whole way across, which is kind of a cool effect. I'm going to use it a little bit. Make it look like he has this crazy helm just reaching out to the sky. I don't want to overdo it. Actually, I think that's too much. So I'm probably just gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna just fix up this piece because I actually prefer it to be dark. There. And then with the mane or whatnot, we can always do something a little fun with it. Maybe I'll go to my palettes. Go to neon. Oops, I forgot to switch my thingamajigger here. Just gonna go to maybe try some watercolor. Watercolor also comes in very bright and easily, so you don't need to have the opacity high to get an effect from it. Just making sure it's on freehand. I'm just dabbing it, so I'm not too worried about going over the lines. I'm just kind of getting that little bit of a brighter color in there. And I'm just going to try the blur again. I just want to see. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. I think I like it so far. I think the only thing I really need to do is maybe just touch up the face a little bit with a little bit of highlighting and then finish the roses off. So I'm going to do the roses actually the same color that I did them over here. I'm just color matching them and go to my pillow fill. Then just gonna get out of that so I can see what colors I'm using here. And I think that that purple is actually a bit dark, so I'm gonna go to a lighter one. Oops. Okay, that should be about right. That's better. I want it dark, but I don't want it too dark. I do want the flower to stand out on the helm, as it's kind of a unique piece for the helm, right? Okay, now I'll go to the darker and one freehand. Actually, I'm going to put that over to automatic since I don't really want to bleed out on work I've already done. And then I'll just bring it down, go to my paintbrush tool, just kind of add strokes of light. And it's kind of mixing it up, mixing the dark with the light to get like these strokes and shading and highlighting. And then I'm going to use the blur tool. It's kind of neat how there's flowers on this armor. I like the way the armor turned out. I like how it's going. It actually looked pretty cool, so pretty pleased with it so far. Now I'm just going to do my highlighting like I did on the other pieces. The roses. Oh, I noticed another boo-boo here. You notice when you make your little stroke marks and your little mistakes when you zoom in. And I happen to do it quite often because I'm constantly zooming in and out and dragging my finger across the screen doing so. And ever so often, I miss it. But I'm used to it. I'm used to being able to fix it. I fixed it on some pretty elaborate pieces where I was kind of peeved off a little bit, but I managed to fix it, so I'm used to it now. It happens. So I'm just highlighting these roses. Honestly, I didn't even, at first glance, I didn't even realize that this was a rose over here where I'm highlighting right now. I didn't realize that there was another rose at first glance until I got into coloring it. And oh, that's a rose. And I'm just going to go to my nail colors and put that purple. Just want to get a little bit of that bright saturated purple in here. Not a lot, just a little bit. I love this purple. Taking away a little bit of the detail only because I had the idea to use this purple. Okay, so I think that's good. Then I'm gonna go down here, go to my fill, my on fill, perfect. And I'm just gonna fill these leaves. And then I'll go to the paintbrush tool. Just lighten it up a bit, give it a little bit of texture. Some last minute touch-ups. Okay. A little bit of touch-ups on the skin. A little bit of highlight on the lip. And there. Okay, and I believe that is just about it. I was gonna do a little bit of highlighting green. I'll try it just for the sake of trying it before I'm done. Go to freehand mode, and I was actually just gonna And there you go. I think I'm finished. I think I will leave the highlighting a little bit there to show a little bit of the glimmer. And there you go. There is my piece of armor that I did. We covered how to make a shine using the laser tool, basic highlighting, shadowing, and I think it turned out pretty great. I do hope that this tutorial video was helpful, and I thank you all so much for joining me. This is Breanne from Pigment, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.